Hello. Today I'm going to share with you a little bit of a story around something that I experienced just a couple of weeks ago, and I know it's something that we all face every day. Now, we have two reactions to this. We either sit in it or we run. So as we're sitting in it, I'm going to give you some tips on how to navigate through sitting in it. And even if we run from it, I want you to go back and sit in it for a while just to remind yourself. So the thing that I want you all to think about today is uncomfortableness. How often do we feel uncomfortable and what do we do about it? Do we sit or do we run? Because flight or flight is our normal reaction to us telling ourselves, I don't like this. I'm scared and it's making me feel anxious. So the story I'm going to share with you, it's a little bit funny. It was funny for me at the time. I'm going to share because we do this all the time. So I was going for a sauna as part of my fasting protocol. And as I walked in, there was a new person at the front desk. And I realised I'd forgotten to ask for the rooms that I normally ask for. So she ushered me into a room that I'd not been in before. And as she left me at the door, I opened up the door and looked at the room and I thought, oh, this looks like a very small room, but I'll be fine. I convinced myself I was going to be okay. Number one mistake. So as I put my bags down, quickly undressed and got into the room, one of the things that is really important for me while I'm fasting is to have my feet up in the air to drain the lymphatic system. So as I get into the room, I'm looking at the bench space and noticing that this is really small, but I'll be okay. Number two mistake, convincing myself it was okay when it wasn't, because I didn't want to get the clothes back on, run outside and ask her if I can swap with another room. So carried on. So 10 minutes into it, I've convinced myself, yep, it's all good. I'm all good. My legs are going to be in the air. I'll be fine. I can work through this. 40 minutes. I don't think so. So anyway, 20 minutes into it, 25 minutes. And then I'm thinking, this isn't working, but let's see, I've only got 15 more minutes. And then I noticed I was starting to get a little bit annoyed with myself. Why hadn't I gone out? Why hadn't I stopped? It's too late now. I noticed myself getting frustrated, noticed myself getting angry. And then I was like, really getting irritable and thinking to myself, this was supposed to be a really good experience and now I've ruined it. And I've ruined it because I didn't speak up and I didn't go outside and stop when I first opened the door. Sounds familiar? Yes, of course it does, because this is what we do. And as I had that light bulb moment of feeling really uncomfortable, not only physically, because there was no room to swing your legs at all. So it was one of these saunas where the only body position is to sit upright. So what I was doing was trying to swing my legs round, and that was even more comical because there was no room to swing a cat in there. Not that I want to take a cat into my sauna with me because I love them. That's a side story. So in my uncomfortableness, I realized that this is something that we do all the time. We convince ourselves that something is okay when it's not. And then we go through a whole range of emotions and a whole range of thoughts that are just awful. So I want to share with you this. I want you to think about when you're uncomfortable, what is it that you do? Do you sit in it and do you run? Do you sit and wallow, or do you bolt and completely disassociate from it? Now, as a coach, I watch people go through this in my coaching groups all the time. As soon as you hit something or you walk into a situation that really makes you feel uncomfortable, a lot of people will just shut down, panic, run, sit in it, and make yourself just sit and wallow in the uncomfortable feelings. Now, I want to ask you, what do you do? What is your thing? Do you sit in it and wallow? Or do you run? So neither of them are going to solve the problem, because ultimately what we're doing is reminding ourselves that this situation isn't okay for us. So listening. So as you go about your week, one of the things that I'd like you to do is to challenge yourself and think about situations that make you feel uncomfortable. Now, it might be people, and it might be a situation. So as you walk into this situation, ask yourself, am I running or am I wallowing in it? And take a moment and sit and embrace the uncomfortableness, because this is something that we don't do. So as you're embracing the uncomfortableness, ask yourself, what am I telling myself? What am I feeling? And what am I learning? And when you're learning something, you're going to feel uncomfortable. And comfort zones are a huge part of our growth. So my tip for you is ask yourself, do I sit or do I run? Do I wallow? Do I actually ask myself and embrace what I'm meant to be learning? So I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment on what you've learned. Leave a comment on your own uncomfortable story. My sauna story was a wake-up call on things that I don't normally do. And then when I sat and just breathed into the situation and just relaxed and thought, let's embrace this uncomfortableness and what is it teaching me? And then I realized, wow, it's about self-care. It is about self-care and knowing and speaking up. So share with me your experience, and you never know, it's going to help somebody else. So have a fabulous week. Embrace your uncomfortableness. Share your story. Take care.